Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled you're tuning in today. We're going to be talking about something that affects literally every single one of us, but let's be honest, it often feels completely overwhelming and confusing. I'm talking about our blood sugar. Today, we're going to completely demystify exactly how you can actively manage it. So let's jump right in.
So let me just throw this direct question out there. Can what you put on your plate actually rewrite your blood sugar numbers? Well, the answer is a massive, resounding yes. We need to establish right out of the gate that food is your absolute first line of defense. It's truly the most powerful, everyday tool you have at your disposal. All right, let's look at Section 1, the blood sugar equation.
To really understand how food pulls this off, we kind of need to zoom out and look at the big picture. Think of your body like this incredible high-performance engine. Now, to keep that engine from overheating or sputtering out, you need what's called glycemic management. Sounds fancy, but it simply means keeping your blood sugar in a healthy, steady range. You do this through a combo of lifestyle habits, medications if your doctor has prescribed them, and regular monitoring. The absolute key takeaway here is that it's a holistic, whole-body strategy. But as we're about to see, the central, weight-bearing pillar of those lifestyle habits is exactly what you choose to eat.
Moving right along to Section 2, building your perfect plate. Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
I want you to picture your dinner plate right now. Just visualize it. The ideal, absolute best-case formula is to fill exactly half of that entire plate, yes, 50%, with non-starchy vegetables. We're talking spinach, cucumbers, broccoli, that sort of thing. Next up, 25% should be a lean protein. So think chicken or maybe tofu if you're plant-based. That leaves just 25% for your whole grains and healthy fats. And hey, really pay attention to this part. Portion control is absolutely critical, especially when it comes to those grains and starchy items. It's super easy to overdo those. Building on that whole perfect plate idea, there is a stark difference between what fuels your engine smoothly and what causes it to just spike out of control. You really want to choose whole grains, things like brown rice, millets, and oats. On the flip side, you want to actively dodge refined grains, sugary drinks, and highly processed snacks. It's basically the difference between throwing a giant log onto a fire for a nice, slow, steady burn versus throwing a cup of gasoline on it and watching it explode. Giving your body whole grains ensures you get that slow, steady release of energy.
Okay, Section 3, power foods for control.
What's genuinely fascinating to me is this whole concept of natural food remedies. There are certain foods out there that actually possess unique biological properties that actively help manage your glucose levels. They are like Mother Nature's little helpers, and they make a fantastic complement to the core diet we just talked about. So what exactly is on this ultimate power food checklist? Well, we've got leafy green vegetables and bitter gourd, which you might know as bitter melon. We also have fenugreek seeds or methi and cinnamon, which actually can have a nice, modest effect for some people. Lentils, beans, nuts like almonds and walnuts, and even unsweetened plain yogurt make the cut. But, and please listen to me on this, it's a massive but, while these foods are incredibly fantastic for supporting blood sugar control, our source material is completely clear. They do absolutely not replace your prescribed medication if you need it.
That brings us to Section 4, beyond the plate.
All right, so we've optimized the fuel, but even the perfect diet needs a strong supporting cast. 150. Lock that number in your brain. That is your highly actionable metric for the week. And don't panic, you don't need to suddenly become a marathon runner. You're just aiming for at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. If you break that down, it's literally just 30 minutes of brisk walking 5 days a week. Oh, and here is a super vital daily habit. If you've been sitting at a desk or on the couch for more than 30 to 60 minutes, stand up. Just move around for a few minutes. You don't want to let the engine idle for too long.
5 to 10%. Now, if you happen to be overweight, maintaining a healthy weight is super important. But it honestly doesn't take some massive reality show level transformation to see real results. Losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight can radically improve how your body handles and controls blood sugar. It's a surprising stat, honestly, but it just proves that every single little bit really does count.
Beyond movement and weight, we really need to look at these 3 biological necessities. First, you've got to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Second, hydrate. Drink plenty of water throughout the day, while of course limiting those sugary drinks we talked about. And third, you have to manage your daily stress. Why do these specific things matter so much? Because, biologically speaking, poor sleep and high stress physically cause your body to pump out hormones that directly drive your blood sugar levels up.
So how exactly do we handle that stress to keep the engine from overheating? There are a bunch of proven strategies. Things like prayer, meditation, simple deep breathing exercises, gentle physical activity, or even just hanging out and spending time with family and friends. These aren't just nice things to do on a Sunday afternoon. They are literally essential maintenance for your blood sugar control.
All right, let's jump to Section 5, Knowing Your Numbers.
Now that we have all the good habits in place, it's time to check the scoreboard. Tracking your body's data is what helps you identify patterns and keeps you firmly in the driver's seat. Here's a really solid baseline for some common targets. For fasting blood sugar, the general goal is somewhere between 80 and 130 milligrams per deciliter. 2 hours after you eat a meal, you generally want it to be sitting at less than 180. And for your HbA1c, the target for a lot of adults is below 7%. Now, major caveat here, please remember that these goals absolutely vary by individual age and underlying health conditions. So, this is data you definitely want to record and then discuss directly with your doctor to pinpoint your own personal targets.
But tracking stuff at home is only half the battle. Regular medical checkups are required to ensure long-term health and, crucially, to catch any issues early before they become big problems. You should be getting that HbA1c tested every 3 to 6 months. You also need to keep up with regular tests for your blood pressure, cholesterol, and kidney function, right alongside comprehensive eye and foot examinations. Think of it like taking your car in for a regular tune-up.
And that brings me to something I really need to highlight. This is an absolute medical mandate. Never stop or change diabetes medication without consulting your doctor. Seriously, if you are on insulin or any other medication, you must take it exactly as instructed. I don't care how perfectly you are eating your non-starchy vegetables or how many minutes you're walking each week, your prescribed medical routine is completely non-negotiable without your doctor's explicit guidance.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 6, when to seek care.
It is wildly important that you know exactly when a situation shifts from monitoring at home to requiring immediate medical intervention. You need to contact a healthcare professional right away if you experience any of these emergency signs. For example, if your blood sugar is consistently hovering above 300 milligrams per deciliter, or if you have severe low blood sugar, which can look like confusion, unconsciousness, or even seizures. You also need to seek immediate care for things like chest pain, difficulty breathing, persistent vomiting, or any signs of infection. That especially includes foot wounds that just simply don't seem to heal. Knowing these signs doesn't mean you should be scared. It means you are equipped, prepared, and empowered.
And that brings us right back to where we started today. You've got the knowledge now. You have the actual blueprint for the perfect plate. You know the power foods, you've got your exercise targets, and you know the emergency signs to watch out for. So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought to take with you into your very next meal. What is one change you can make to your plate today? Seriously, what's it going to be? Can you swap out a refined grain for a whole one? Could you maybe just add a handful of spinach to your dinner? The power to impact your blood sugar is literally sitting right there on your fork. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you next time.